The RD9, 9mm, that's what the 9 stands for, from Tactical Edge. Got a bunch of mags loaded up. We're going to show you what those are all about. Let's do it. So we are very excited. I've waited a long time for this. So excited that we've had to film twice with the RD9. Great gun, Tactical Edge from Clarksville, Tennessee, made in the USA. This gun comes shipped with everything you see on it except the dot. We've got an aim point T2 on here, and we've got a sling from VTAC, one of my favorite slings. Other than that, just as I'm holding it, this is how she comes. Excellent high quality stuff here. This is not a bargain gun. This is a primo made in the USA tool. This one takes Glock mags, which we've got loaded up with 115 grain Super Vel. We're going to show you how we zero this, the distance that we chose to zero it. And what I really like about this one, of course it'll take the long boy Glock sticks. These you can get 33 rounds into, all the way down to a Glock 26 mag. You might say, why would you do that? There's a lot of places that have mag bans. I don't care about talking politics in this video. If you're in a 10 round state, the 26 mags will work. Of course, 19 mags, 17 mags. I've got the big boys from our 19X. I've got a couple aftermarket ones. Here's one from Yeoman. It ships with an ETS mag, so we've got that mag loaded up and a couple others. Let's start with zeroing. What distance do you zero this at? Well, anytime you zero a gun, you got to think about what are you trying to do with it. We chose 25 yards. We're going to run some dope for you. We've got our lab radar, pardon me, out here on the range. First thing you got to do when you find zero is know the velocity. People always want to talk about the barrel length. I don't want to know the barrel length. I need to know the velocity. I need to know the bullet type. Not just that it's full metal jacket, but there's information that you need to derive, such as weight, ballistic coefficient, and oftentimes this stuff is all easily accessible from the manufacturer's website. Why you don't want to just take the advertised velocity is the barrel length, altitude, things of that nature will change velocity. So we're going to show you how to do that. We're going to then explain why we chose the zero, and then we're going to have some fun banging on some steel. Let's do it. So simply, we need to know the velocity. I love this lab radar because we get really quick instant data. I don't need to worry about lighting. There are some things you need to worry about. This is not a video on this tool, but it's set up. We've already done all of these ballistics, so I'm not going to go through the whole process, but we'll explain as we go. So I've got this gun loaded up with the ammo that I'm going to use, and we're going to track some of the velocities. I like to do at least 10 rounds, so I'll show you how this is done. Eyes and ears. We'll get set up, and let's go. 13, 17 feet per second. 13, 32 feet per second. 13, 32 feet per second. 1,300 feet per second. 1334. One of the things you'll notice immediately as I'm reading you these numbers, the Super Vel, because they load very precisely with quality components, we've got a very close deviation from shot to shot. That's important. That's really what affects accuracy. As velocity changes, so does point of impact because of the speed of the bullet. So we figured that our average was 1330. That's what we ran the dope on. So Kane, why don't you come over to the tailgate and we'll show them what we came up with. Just for safety's sake, I'm going to clear this gun out as we go through this. Lock the slide to the rear, the bolt back on that guy, and let's get her out of our way. We ran the dope for you. We went with a 25-yard zero. A lot of stuff going on here. A couple things that you've got to know when you zero. You've got to know the height of the sight or your dot over the bore. In this case, it's about 2.6 inches. I don't work in abouts. It's 2.6 inches, but I'm telling you, you need to know the height of your point of aim, the dot or the sight over the bore. And you punch all this stuff into a calculator and you get out the information, but then you want to verify in the field. So if I'm at 0 yards, I'm going to be 2.6 inches, right? If I've got my muzzle directly on the target, and we worked this back to 500 yards for you. Basically, at 25 will be 0. In fact, it's 0.0111. I wrote that down just so you can see how specific we get in these calculations. But just imagine that this dot, or this cross here, right here in this circle, was where I was holding my dot, right? That's where I was holding my dot, and I did everything perfect. If I was at contact distance, right, my first shot is going to be 2.6 inches, 2.5 inches low, which is the bottom of this circle. As I continue to move back, we've got some different points because the bullet flies in an arc. I don't want to make this whole video about the ballistics, but I want you to know why I chose this 0. 10 yards, I'm going to be an inch and a half or so low, 1.4. 20 yards, about a half inch low, 0.42. If I go to 30 yards, now the bullet's rising, 0.3 of an inch. We're talking about small increments here. If I go to 50 yards, I'm at 1.15 high. That means over the height of my dot. And then at 55, we have the MRT, the mid-rise trajectory. So that means with this 0, I'm going to grab a pen here, and I'm going to mark it out. With this 0, remember, bullets don't fly in an arc unless we make them fly in an arc. We've got a whole video, on zeroing, which you can watch. But what's happening here, here's 0, and we'll just call this 100 out here. The high point, the mid-rise trajectory, is in this case 1.2 inches. And if we go all the way out to 100 yards, I'm about an inch and a half low, 1.47. So why this is cool, why I like this 0, from contact distance out to 100 yards, I can put my dot on the target and I know I'm going to be inside of a 4-inch circle. Unless I'm trying to shoot like walnuts off of a tree, shooting, say, a silhouette, shooting a bad guy in the face or chest, if we ever had to, you're going to get hits out to a hundo. Now, just so that you understand what happens with this 0, if we go out to 120 yards, all of a sudden our point of aim and point of impact, if I'm still holding on this point, my bullet now drops to 4.6 inches, which is going to be about here. If I go to 150 yards, my bullet's going to now drop to about 11.75 inches right here. And if I go to 200, 31 inches. So now we're friggin' down here. And if I go to 500 yards, I'm 406 inches low. It's a 9mm. I just want you to understand the ballistics. So now that we understand why we're using a 25-yard 0, let's shoot this ammunition. So we'll load this sucker back up, just because we'll start out with these long boys. And I'm going to do a simple walk back drill. 15 yards here, 14 yards. I've confirmed on paper, proned out in the grass here on the farm, but I'm going to walk back and we'll head back and just verify that we're getting good hits based on our 0. You got eyes and ears on, Kanan?
I do.
All right, let's do this. Get a little adjustment here on this sling. I'm just going to work. I want to feel how this gun points. I want to see how that trigger's working, and I'm just evaluating how this gun's working. We've been running mags through this gun on a couple trips. Nauseating reliable. Check this thing out though. It's just like cheat code gun. Cheat code gun. There's a 8-inch gong back in the woods there in front of the berm. Let's get a hit on that. Super simple. For you nervous Nellies watching, we'll walk back to about 20. There is a berm back there in the woods. This old farm has been unfarmed for years, and the scrub trees have been growing up. It gets wet back there. Nobody trims it. It's great actually, but there is a berm back there, so don't freak out. Kanan, when you're ready, we'll send a few rounds here from about 20.
Ready?
Hits on that 25 or that 5-inch head swinger at this distance of 20-25 yards. So simple. Do you see it back there in the shade?
Slightly, yeah, they could see it.
I'll hit that gong real quick, which is at about, I think, 38-40 we lays from here. so doggone fun. I'm gonna grab the rangefinder out of the bag as we go.
Going.
That little gong's at 42 from here. I want to get another hit or two on it while we're standing here just because it's so fun. Can you zoom in on it at all?
Yeah.
See it back there swinging around? It's fun to hit while she's moving. Tell me when you're ready. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but it sure is fun. I'm going to tack mag a new mag in here in a second. Why don't we move back a little bit? Nauseatingly reliable. There's a lot of companies that have modified AR platform guns to shoot pistols. Colt did it years ago. Problem is when you take a gun that was designed for a rifle and try to make this really weak little 9mm or a 45 or a 10, try to make it cycle that big bolt, it doesn't work. What Tactical Edge did was they redesigned the whole operating system and it works really dang good. You guys working the safety on a carbine when you're doing reloads? You should be. We'll walk back here to about, I think we're at like 55 or 60 from this point. We'll check it out. .62 it looks like. That's always an interesting topic. Well, if the gun's empty, why do I need to put the safety on? Just the simple practicality of training. If that gun will go to safe, go to safe. It doesn't take you extra time. It doesn't take you extra energy. If you train to use the safety selector, there is no extra time because it's a compound movement. So as you are going for the mag release and going for a new mag, that safety's already on. Just make it part of your system. So 60 yards. As you can hear the hits on steel down there, I'm not even like really trying. Good dot, good zero. Be surprised, let's walk back, Kane, how many classes we do. Kanan will tell you, Drew will tell you, the other instructors will tell you, guys just show up with no zero or a zero that they don't really understand. You've got to understand the trajectory and why you're picking these different things. All right, we're at about 75 offhand on the TA Targets Mini ADAP. So that target's about this tall and about that wide at 75. You see it down there, Kanan? As you can hear, it's just really dang easy to get hits. Good ammo, good gun, good zero, and then mechanics. This isn't cheap, but it's awesome. Something I didn't tell you when we started, they don't give us these guns. Come on back a little bit farther. I paid for this. Paid for the optics that's on it, paid for the sling that's on it. There's guys out here that do the social media stuff, and all they're looking for is free stuff. I want to go back a little bit farther, so we're about 100. Looking for free stuff, looking for free gadgets and gear because it's cool. I use this stuff. This is the stuff that I protect my family with. It's the stuff that we train with. I have no problem paying for it. And we don't show you this stuff because they're paying us. We show you this stuff because it's quality, made in the USA gear. I think we're at just about a hundo here. Yep. Some of you guys watch these videos and they're like, and I hear, you're going to shoot past your truck? That's unsafe. First of all, it's a truck. It's not a person. Second of all, if I'm missing my targets by 15, 20 feet, I need to sell these guns. You do what you want with your vehicle, but don't waste time in our comment section talking about something being unsafe. It's a truck. It's not a person. And no, it's not unsafe because I'm not going to miss by 10 feet. Ready, Kanan?
Ready.
All right, I'm going to see if I can get an offhand shot on that 5-incher at this distance. I'm going to tack mag. So that 5-inch head swinger, we're at 100 yards, offhand, unsupported, other than the sling. One and done. That's cool, man. Why we're showing you this, and this is unedited, Kanan's walking with the camera and we're just talking. One and done, headshot, 100 yards, unsupported. Can you do that with a cheap gun? Yeah. Is a cheap gun going to do it day in and day out? Probably not. Why don't we get up there back into the 20, 30 yard range? We've got all those mags, and we'll take turns and we'll run through all those different mags. Well, since we're going to do some mag dumps, and since we always clean up at the farm, how about we just use this handy dandy pickup truck as a collection point for these spent shell casings. All right, I'm not going to just waste ammo to waste it. We know that these long boys are super reliable. Let's try this ETS mag and see how that thing works. Do a couple turn and shoots. Losing that stuff back there in the woods. One thing I do notice is I only can get 30 rounds into these. 19X mag. That's kind of cute, just hanging out there like that. I mean, it's still a good amount of capacity for this size of gun. Very handy carbine, right? Here, Kane, leave that rolling. Just take this. Here's a 17 mag on you. I'll man the camera. I can do some camera work. Equal opportunity cameraman. Why don't you show me your skills, boy? I shoot long guns left-handed because I'm blind in my right eye, so he's got some sling issues. How about 17? So that was a 19 round mag you were just shooting?
Correct.
All right. Come around so we can watch that thing cycle from this side. So some people are scared of that. They feel like it's a reciprocating bolt. You can see it's not. Hit that gong back in the woods. There you go. All right, so let's try this little cutie.
All right.
Little Glock 26 mag. 10 rounds. Hit that swinger. Nice. Hit it again. Man, it's almost like you work for a company that trains with guns all day. All right.
Sweet.
I dig it. We'll close her out. Fantastic, made in the USA gun. In my opinion, not just my opinion, but taking the opinions of other, like our good friend Z Durham. The guys at Tactical Edge down in Clarksville, Tennessee have nailed it. This is not something that just was released. They've been making this for years. Very reliable platform. There's a reason the best of the best use it, swear by it. There's a reason that I bought one, because of what those guys have told me and what you're seeing now. This thing works. It's going to work. It's got great accuracy potential. You saw offhand headshots at 100 yards at small targets. Check them out. Be well. Don't be dickheads. Know and understand the zero that you use with your gun. Know and understand the capabilities and limitations of the ammunition that you choose. In this case, thank you, Supervel Ammunition. Thank you guys for watching. If you dug this video and any of the videos that we share, please share them. Support us, as in sharing that content, liking, commenting, and all that. We'd love to hear in the comment sections what you guys are wanting to see next. Be well, don't be dickheads. Check us out at carrytrainer.com. Too bad we don't have any more ammo.